Okay, so I got a comment asking for a tutorial on the iron farm that I showed, and I realized that for most of the create things I did just a little bit of a showcasing of the machine and not an actual tutorial on how to make it, and I didn't have any links out there for the schematics or anything either. So I'm just going to be doing a small tutorial. I was making sure it still worked because I switched up to 1.20.1 instead of 1.16.5. The main difference I can think of is the grinders are faster in 1.20.1, and the you have access to the vault blocks as well, but I haven't tested those out, and I'm pretty sure you could use those to extend the inventory down there. The materials for this one are not too expensive. I think the hardest thing for me in survival was always like the drills, because I was always low on materials, but you just need 6 shafts, 4 mechanical drills, a vertical gearbox, an encased fan, 2 mechanical belts, a depot, 3 hoppers, 4 chutes, 6 chests, and then some blocks of any type, as well as some stairs if you want to save just a little bit of space. For the cobblestone generator, you're going to need lava and water, however many buckets for however long you want to make the machine, an andesite funnel, 2 brass funnels, an iron ingot, and a flint for the filters on the brass funnel, and then the 2 crushing wheels. You could also extend this over here near the bottom where the iron ingot comes out to compress it and make it into iron nuggets into iron ingots, and then even iron blocks if you're planning on maybe leaving the air, like leaving your game on for a long time while in the region. But I wasn't too sure how I wanted to do that, and I would have to go out of the world because I didn't build it high enough to do that. So first thing you do is start with the cobblestone generator, just standard Minecraft cobblestone generator, and then you get your mechanical drills and 4 shafts so that all 4 drills are moving at once, and then you're going to need a power source for the drills. And you're also going to need one of your mechanical belts. That's settled, and then you're able to put this down, but I'm not going to do the power source just yet because it'll just start dropping onto the ground. And then you also take your 4 chutes. I just do this, that way there's as little loss of the actual blocks as possible, because for the most part it should drop straight down into the chutes rather than having just the regular drop pattern of a Minecraft block. Then you take your last 2 shafts and your last mechanical belt, and you set up your next belt, and I think I can just extend it like 1 block and it should work. I'll do 2. And like this. And that should be enough space for the grinders, I believe. So I'm going to do the creative motor to make sure I put it on the right side. And then you grab your vertical gearbox, your 2 crushing wheels, and you can have these set up to the same power source or different ones, whatever is more convenient. Just one of them does need the vertical gearbox, that way both of the crushing wheels are going different directions. Now, when the cobblestone goes through here, it'll be turned into gravel. I should probably grab that. Next, you get one of your hoppers, and then you get 2 of the chests, and then your andesite funnel. And the andesite funnel is right here. Right directly underneath it is your hopper, and then a double chest or whatever other storage unit you want to use to transfer your materials here. And then you grab your fan, your depot. Yeah, you just grab everything else here. Okay, I looked at the other machine, and I think I made an error. You might need an extra hopper for this. But other than that, it should be fine. Get a block. And then you have your depot. Then you connect a hopper to the depot, which is why you need an extra one. I forgot to link up this double chest to this depot. And the reason I'm doing this is so it doesn't get backed up by the encasing fan, because if you did this in a direct line just straight to the fan, it would all build up, and eventually you're going to get a lot of loose entities because they can't be stacked on the conveyor belt, just due to there being too many in the same space. And this actually happened in my Pixelmon world. That happens quite frequently because the fans slow the whole process down. You need your fan set up, so what I do is, for this one, I can just use these 2 blocks here, block it off, and the depot as well, and I use this little bin to actually catch the water. And then, since I don't want the chest to close, so I can make sure I can see how full it is, or maybe even grab gravel out just to use as a building material as well, I put it 1 over, but if you don't plan on ever grabbing the gravel or checking on it, you can just put it 1 layer lower. Then I put my water bucket in, and when the fan blows the water onto the gravel, it'll turn it into both flint and iron nuggets at a different rate. I'm not exactly sure what the actual percentages are. But then if I grab the encased fan and I power it, you should see these particles, and that's how you know it's working. It doesn't matter how much power you put into the fan, it won't change how fast it actually processes the item. It'll just increase the range of the particles and the effects they have. So it'll push you further or burn you further if you use lava for the cooking process. And then you get the brass funnels, which I think I deleted by accident. So then you get your 2 brass funnels. You put them on each side. You mark one with the iron nuggets and one with the flint. And then underneath that, you put your hoppers. And you can either just go straight down or horizontally if you plan on extending it. And then off of this, you can further go into making iron nuggets and iron ingots, and then in iron blocks, and then flint. Maybe you could connect it to something to make arrows, or maybe I'm not entirely sure what all recipes flint has, but now we should be able to see the whole process at just a rate of 16 power. These go through, and okay, I had to adjust a few things because I made an error. The grinders have to be both need to be moving out in the outwards direction, and then you need to make sure all of the arrows on the funnels are facing the correct way. Like the arrow needs to go towards where it's supposed to drop the item into. This one was backwards because I shift clicked it onto the conveyor belt. But now it should go through the whole process. Yeah, it's already doing this. If it causes a backup of items, it'll start dropping blocks straight onto nearby areas. So what I usually do is I block up the entire section so it can't do that, and for the most part the blocks have no choice but to flow straight downwards. But as long as you keep this process smooth and don't mess it up like I did, it should be fine. Basically, these mine the cobblestone that the generator makes. It goes through the chute right here onto the conveyor belt, which is moving at a consistent speed. It goes through here and hits the grindstones, which, due to how much faster they are, I think you could be able to like keep the majority of this on just a handful of power sources. Far less than the amount of creative ones that I did. But then these grind the cobblestone and the gravel goes into this chest, and that way if there's a bit of a backup, you have plenty of space to work with, so maybe you can just grab some and use it for something else as well. But then the gravel gets put onto the depot here, which is then blown on by the encased fan, and each gravel has a chance to change into iron nuggets or pieces of flint, and you can take this further into the iron, and then whatever flint can be used for, I guess.